Hi, we're just going to give you an overview of the use of this machine. It is not a substitute for the manufacturer's instructions, and it is your responsibility to ensure that you're trained. Des, one of our engineers, is going to run through this machine for you in the quick ways that you can set it up, use it, and some top tips for you too.
Hi guys, this is the Nifty 120T. The 120 is a 12 meter working height machine. So the serial plate is just here. On your serial plate you've got your serial number, year of manufacture, wind speed rating, weight of the machine, everything you'll need on there. TPE just stands for telescopic, petrol and electric. So first thing you're going to be looking for when you come to your machine is the Lola. Check that is in date. They're required to be updated every 6 months. After that, you're going to be looking for the documentation for the machine. Just in the basket, you'll have a manual. There's usually a Lola in there as well. And thirdly, a rescue plan. Make sure you've got someone nominated on the ground who knows what they're doing with the machine, who can get you down safely. Keep a phone on you, something along them lines, something that just makes it easy for you to get down in the event that you need to be brought down. So, there's a few different check sheets that we'll use. iPath will do one, and then your manufacturer will always do one. This is available in your manual. Things that we'll get to check. Tyres, for example, check that they're in good wear. Hydraulics, check that none of your rams are leaking. Hoses, check for visible cracks, that kind of thing. Onto the engine, just double check that there's no leaks. Check your fuel, check your oil, check your air filter, things you'd normally check on an engine. Batteries, whenever you're checking your batteries, wear gloves, wear glasses. You're looking for your water levels just in there, check that they're just above the plates. Check all your connections, check that they're nice and tight, nothing corroded. And same, just moving around the engine, checking all the wires, checking for leaks, checking connections, anything that looks out of place, loose bolts, just always keep a note. So if you do find anything wrong with the machine, if you tag the machine, isolate it, and then let your line manager know, and then go from there. Just done all my checks, put the cover back on, we'll set the machine up and we'll show you how to operate it. Top tip, this bracket just here, make sure after travelling, always undo that, because that's probably going to be the first thing that you break in setup. Right, let's get it set up. Firstly, you've got your 4 outriggers, one on each corner. These are operated just from the front. Your front control handle will set your motor off, and then each individual control will drop one of your 4 legs. Ideally, get your front 2 down just above the ground, then lower your back 2. We're trying to minimise weight on your jockey wheel. So when you're happy that the machine's taken the weight, just in the centre, just in front of you, you've got spirit level. So just get that into a place that you're happy. The machine's level. Just before we set the machine up, we had a quick look for drainage, manholes, potholes, that kind of thing. I've got a drain just there, one just there. That tells me there's probably some pipe work just going straight underneath us. So just double check your loads, check where your legs are going. You can use spreader plates. This will minimise your risk of going through. Spreader plates come in different sizes. If you are struggling to know what spreader plate's best for you, if you go onto the iPath website, just follow that, put your machine in, they'll tell you exactly what pads you'll need for your machine. So, lower controls. Starting from left to right, you've got your emergency stop, you've got your function button, and then you've got your key which will operate from bottom to top. And your control arms from left to right, you've got your telescopic arm, have your primary, you've got your secondary boom, and then lastly you have your slew, which will turn the machine. And lastly you have your emergency lower. So to use your emergency lower, pop that on just on there. You'll have to operate one of the levers and then pump, and then the machine will either come down or go up. I'll quickly take the machine up for you. Just before I take that all the way down, I'll just draw your attention to this. You've got a locating plate just there. That's going to fit just in there. That's what the clamp holds onto. Make sure you're slewed in the right place so it drops down just in the gap just there. Firstly, harnesses. Top of your basket, you've got a mounting point just there and just there. Make sure your hose puts in when you use the machine like this. Also make sure your harness is in date and appropriate for this machine. Can go over the controls for you. At the top, emergency stop. Key, you've got it so it'll function at the top and function at the bottom. You've got your engine start. That'll turn your engine over, and then you've got your function button just there. So if you hold the function button, it will work just as it did at the bottom. These are your hydraulic levers, same as they are at the bottom with the exception of this one at the end. This is your basket level just at the back there. For any particular reason your basket isn't straight, use that one, get your basket level, but don't do that in the air. So just at the rear of your machine, you have your charger. You've got a 110, which is yellow, 240, which is your blue. Just in this little window here, when you are charging, there'll be a little red light. When it's fully charged, it'll go green. And just to the side, you have an Anderson plug that disconnects your batteries from the rest of the machine. If you are going to leave your machine for extended periods, disconnect that. That will save any kind of parasitic drains, anything along those lines. And if you are struggling to get down narrow alleyways, things along them lines, you can just release these two pins. The axles will push in on both sides. Again, during travel, make sure they're fully extended. It's the safest way to do it. The machine itself is powered by a Honda GX200. That is a petrol 4-stroke. You don't need to add any additives. You've got your choke just at the top, that little grey one. And just at the bottom, that is your fuel tap. When you're traveling, best just to knock that off. You've got some controls at the side. You can start the engine from the bottom, and you do also have the pull start.